I believe things cannot make themselves impossible. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. Science is not only a disciple of reason, but also one of romance and passion. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. I have noticed even people who claim everything is predestined and that we can do nothing to change it look before they cross the road. One can't predict the weather more than a few days in advance. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. Nothing cannot exist forever. No one undertakes research in physics with the intention of winning a prize. It is the joy of discovering something no one knew before. Scientists have become the bearers of the torch of discovery in our quest for knowledge. I wouldn't be here today if it were not for the NHS. I have received a large amount of high-quality treatment without which I would not have survived. I was not a good student. I did not spend much time at college. I was too busy enjoying myself. People who boast about their IQ are losers. We only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. We are all now connected by the internet, like neurons in a giant brain. I believe alien life is quite common in the universe, although intelligent life is less so. Some say it has yet to appear on planet Earth. The past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. Someone told me that each equation I included in the book would have the sales. I am just a child who has never grown up. I still keep asking these how and why questions. Occasionally, I find an answer. I would like nuclear fusion to become a practical power source. It would provide an inexhaustible supply of energy without pollution or global warming. When one's expectations are reduced to zero, one really appreciates everything one does have. There is no unique picture of reality. Women, they are a complete mystery. There could be shadow galaxies, shadow stars, and even shadow people. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is, and why it exists at all. The universe is not indifferent to our existence. It depends on it. We are all different. There is no such thing as a standard or run-of-the-mill human being, but we share the same human spirit. If I had a time machine, I'd visit Marilyn Monroe in her prime, or drop in on Galileo as he turned his telescope to the heavens. In my opinion, there is no aspect of reality beyond the reach of the human mind. If aliens visit us, the outcome would be much as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. To confine our attention to terrestrial matters would be to limit the human spirit. You can't regulate every lab in the world. I was never top of the class at school, but my classmates must have seen potential in me because my nickname was Einstein. Most sets of values would give rise to universes that, although they might be very beautiful, would contain no one able to wonder at that beauty. I think we have a good chance of surviving long enough to colonize the solar system. We should seek the greatest value of our action. We are the product of quantum fluctuations in the very early universe. I have wanted to fly into space for many years, but never imagined it would really be feasible. The cyclic universe theory predicts no gravitational waves from the early universe. Cambridge is one of the best universities in the world, especially in my field. The missing link in cosmology is the nature of dark matter and dark energy. Many badly needed goals, like fusion and cancer cure, would be achieved much sooner if we invested more. We live in a bewildering world. Keeping an active mind has been vital to my survival, as has been maintaining a sense of humor. I have so much that I want to do. I hate wasting time. I can't say that my disability has helped my work, but it has allowed me to concentrate on research without having to lecture or sit on boring committees. We think we have solved the mystery of creation. Maybe we should patent the universe and charge everyone royalties for their existence. I believe in universal health care, and I am not afraid to say so. There are too many accidents that can befall life on a single planet. If you believe in science, like I do, you believe that there are certain laws that are always obeyed. Perhaps one day I will go into space. I want to know why the universe exists, why there is something greater than nothing. It is not clear that intelligence has any long-term survival value. Even if it turns out that time travel is impossible, it is important that we understand why it is impossible. I don't think the human race will survive the next 1,000 years unless we spread into space. Imaginary time is a new dimension at right angles to ordinary, real time. I can't disguise myself with a wig and dark glasses. The wheelchair gives me away. I enjoy all forms of music, pop, classical, and opera. If I had to choose a superhero to be, I would pick Superman. He's everything that I'm not. What I'd really like to control is not machines, but people. There are no black holes in the sense of regimes from which light can't escape to infinity. I used to think information was destroyed in black hole. This was my biggest blunder, or at least my biggest blunder in science. The Paralympic Games is about transforming our perception of the world. The human race may be the only intelligent beings in the galaxy. Time travel was once considered scientific heresy, and I used to avoid talking about it for fear of being labeled a crank. Sometimes I wonder if I'm as famous for my wheelchair and disabilities as I am for my discoveries. It's a pity that nobody has found an exploding black hole. If they had, I would have won a Nobel Prize. To my mathematical brain, the numbers alone make thinking about aliens perfectly rational. The real challenge is to work out what aliens might actually be like. Why are we here? Where do we come from? Traditionally, these are questions for philosophy, but philosophy is dead. I have found far greater enthusiasm for science in America than here in Britain. There is more enthusiasm for everything in America. Most people don't have time to master the very mathematical details of theoretical physics. Only black holes of very low mass would emit a significant amount of radiation. The media needs superheroes in science just as in every sphere of life, but there is really a continuous range of abilities with no clear dividing line. No one can resist the idea of a crippled genius. Exploration by real people inspires us. I don't want to write an autobiography because I would become public property with no privacy left. I hope I have helped to raise the profile of science and to show that physics is not a mystery but can be understood by ordinary people. I have visited Japan several times and have always been shown wonderful hospitality. There are grounds for cautious optimism that we may now be near the end of search for the ultimate laws of nature. One cannot really argue with a mathematical theorem. Philosophers have not kept up with modern developments in science, particularly physics. Maybe I don't have the most common kind of motor neuron disease, which usually kills in 2 or 3 years. Observations indicate that the universe is expanding at an ever-increasing rate. It will expand forever, getting emptier and darker. I grew up thinking that a research scientist was a natural thing to be. Theoretical physics is one of the few fields in which being disabled is no handicap. It is all in the mind. Cosmology is a rapidly advancing field. According to M-theory, ours is not the only universe. Instead, M-theory predicts that a great many universes were created out of nothing. A zero-gravity flight is a first step toward space travel. I'm never any good in the morning. It is only after 4 in the afternoon that I get going. I don't have much positive to say about motor neuron disease, but it taught me not to pity myself because others were worse off, and to get on with what I could still do. There's no way to remove the observer, us, from our perceptions of the world. I think the discovery of supersymmetric partners for the known particles would revolutionize our understanding of the universe. Time can behave like another direction in space under extreme conditions. As a child, I wanted to know how things worked and to control them. With a friend, I built a number of complicated models that I could control. I think it quite likely that we are the only civilization within several hundred light years, otherwise we would have heard radio waves. Some scientists think it may be possible to capture a wormhole and enlarge it many trillions of times to make it big enough for a human or even a spaceship to enter. The fastest manned vehicle in history was Apollo 10. It reached 25 miles per hour. Thanks for watching.